This has to annoy President Obama. Yes, unemployment is on the rise. Yes, 14 million Americans are out of work, but now some salt in the wounds. President Clinton, that's Clinton, is telling President Obama how to fix the problem. But he's not advising him in private talks in the Oval Office. President Clinton is getting published. It's a cover story. Joining us is Byron York, chief political correspondent for the Washington Examiner. And what a cover story this is. I mean, this is How to Solve Our Economy by former President Clinton.
Aren't you glad to see Bill Clinton has come out of his shell? I will say one thing about this. Before Barack Obama became a national political figure, Bill Clinton was reminding the world that during his presidency there were 20+ million jobs created. This is something that President Clinton has talked about ever since the day he left office. So it's not new for him to start talking about it. But for him to do it in this way, at this time, as the campaign is underway and everybody knows jobs is the #1 issue, it sends a real message to the White House.
Well, it struck me when I saw this today is that if, why isn't he, there are two ways to do it. If he was palsy with President Obama and he thought that he could advise him sort of like, dad to junior, he would go into the Oval Office and say, this is a good plan. This is my plan. Because he's got like a 14-point plan that where he lays it out how to solve it and get jobs. But instead, he comes out and it's a cover of Newsweek. And I guess to make things worse, he's going to unveil it at the Clinton Global Initiative in Chicago in the president's backyard.
The Clinton-Obama rivalry is not dead. I mean, just because, they fought this enormous war in 2008, and it hasn't completely settled over. Yes, Mrs. Clinton is the Secretary of State.
She seems happy. She seems, like she doesn't have an axe to grind.
Well, when the president took office, a number of people said it was very, very smart for him to ask his big rival to join his government, which would get her on the inside, so she wouldn't be on the outside criticizing. But that doesn't apply to her husband, who has a complete freedom to say what he wants. And some of the things that he said about Barack Obama in the 2008 campaign, particularly in the South Carolina primaries, that stuff, nobody's forgotten that stuff, and that rivalry still exists.
But it's sort of interesting because President Clinton was enormously successful in the economy.
Yes.
And so you would think that President Obama might want to listen to him if he wants to talk to people who might have the same experience and might know what to do.
Republicans would say President Clinton was very successful on the economy after he began dealing with a Republican Congress, and that President Obama might have something to learn about that.
However it was achieved, you get the credit or the blame as president. I mean, whatever, whoever wants to, say, well, but for the fact is that during his time, that the economy is doing well.
But we should say that some of these things that President Clinton offers up in this Newsweek article, like retrofitting buildings, are Obama-Biden policies, things that the president and the vice president as candidates talk about on the campaign trail all the time.
I thought what was most interesting is that one of the 14 ways to put people back to work is, he said, speed of approvals. And what it says is, this is written by President Clinton, Harry Hopkins had nowhere near the rules and regulations we have now. In 1933, Hopkins' Civil Works Administration put $4 million to work in a month. I don't blame the people in the White House for problems in getting shovel-ready projects off the ground. Sometimes it takes 3 years or more for the approval process. I thought that was condescending, like they had never even looked at history to see how different Harry Hopkins had in 1933, that they were so JV-ish in terms of, here was President Clinton saying, of course they didn't do well, but they don't understand history.
Well, Republicans would say that if you could get some of these choking regulations off the building process, the project process, you could get people to work in the private sector more quickly.
President Clinton agrees.
He does.
But I'm saying that what I understand to be doing here is saying that President Obama didn't get that. I thought that was the dissing.
So the reaction in the White House would be, you think we hadn't thought of that? It's harder to make these things happen. President Clinton is out of government right now. It's easier for him to say this kind of stuff than it is for him to try to, push the stone up the hill of the executive branch.
Is this accidental, coincidental, or is this dissing?
I think it's not accidental and it's not coincidental. I think it's President Clinton wanting to stay in the game. I think it's President Clinton wanting to remind everybody that the last time a Democrat was in the White House before Barack Obama, there was a big economic boom. He wants to remind us all of that.
So this stings.
It does sting, absolutely. The president is contrasting, President Clinton is contrasting his record with the first couple of years of the Obama administration.
Byron, thank you.
Good to be here.
Never dull, huh? Never dull.